buzzer bell or late for dinner. But so the topic I chose to talk about is one kind of really dear to my heart. It's called Staying Childlike in a Dark World. I chose this topic, one, because of my own experiences, and two, because these are the years that people are we're going from our very safe, innocent childhood, most of us at least, and we're stepping into the real world, the dark world. We're being exposed to things. We're realizing that people can and do get hurt. So I kind of decided to tell you about my experience with the dark world, and the do's and don'ts. So the first time I realized that I had been exposed to darkness, I was 16 years old. But the first time I was actually exposed was 14. Most of us have been to virtues training, so we all know what grooming is. If you don't know it, I'm not explaining it to you. So I started to be groomed at 14 years old. It was by someone who was close with my family. My brothers worked for him. He came over for lunch. I saw him every Sunday at Mass. He went to adoration every Tuesday in the evening. So I saw him a lot. He had never made me feel safe, ever. There was just always something off. And then when I talked to people about it, I was saying, they're like, hey, I think there's something strange going on, and I'm not sure how to handle it. People told me that he probably thought of me as the daughter that he hadn't been able to have. He and his wife did not have any children. I had never even met any of their family. So I guess it was just them. So I tried to be charitable. I was very innocent. I was very young. I really did not want to listen to my instincts. If someone told me that something was okay, it was okay. And so this went on. He started with learning things about my name without me telling him. I was like, okay, whatever. My brothers work for him. He'd see me around church. That's okay. Then he learned my birthday. That was kind of strange, right? But I was like, whatever. He's probably heard my friends say happy birthday, right? And then he one day told me he'd fallen in love with me. And he hugged me and walked away like he hadn't just completely destroyed my innocent world. I was not actually raped. He did not touch me in a sexual way. And when my parents approached him afterward, he disappeared for 2 years. Because I had not been raped, I did not get help for myself. My parents knew it happened. My priest knew it happened. A couple of my friends who needed to know for security reasons knew it happened. No one else knew. Half of my family does not know. But I didn't believe I was deserving of help. Because I have friends who went through so much worse. I didn't even know I had been mentally affected until I took virtues training, and yeah, that was fun. So, but not telling people, and by shoving it into the back of my brain, I didn't get help, right? So it just stayed there. It's the thing about trauma, and we've mentioned this in talks, is it kind of just gets stuck in your brain. And then one day, you get triggered. I got triggered in virtues training when I recognized the signs of an attacker. I have also gotten triggered in like college classrooms. I've gotten triggered here. It can be the simplest thing, or it can be very unique. But after everything happened to me, people reacted negatively to me. They told me, I actually had someone ask me if I hadn't encouraged this man purposefully, because he had given me gifts and I accepted them, because I had let him into my house. So with that negative response, that continued building up this belief, I'm not worthy of help, and that my purpose was to protect others. Like I said, the only people who found out were the people who needed to know so I could be safe. And that was not great, because then I created this, I'm a protector, I'm alone. I'm completely alone. Yeah, my parents know. Sure, that's awesome. Yeah, one of my friends know, but she doesn't know what I'm going through. And so I isolated myself. I felt like I was 30 years old at 18. And there are still times I do. So I didn't get help till the beginning of this year, and as I got help, it was so hard, because when you're going to therapy for something that happened in the past that you did not heal from in the past, every single emotion that you held in for 2 years, in my case, it comes out in a couple months, and it puts you in a very vulnerable place. So I had to learn new skills, like telling you guys my story. I had to learn that it was okay to cry in front of people. I had to learn that it's not really my job to protect the entire world. I know it's a surprise, but yeah, it's not my job to protect all of you. But because I kept like aging inside, I came up with this like fake adult mentality, right? I came up with, okay, yes, I'm alone, I'm a protector, which means I'm not deserving of help. But that also means like I don't want to embarrass myself and look like a little kid, because that's childish, right? So I can't cry in front of people. I can't. I can't admit to myself or to God that this is hard. And I can't. I really didn't want to try new things. I didn't want to make friends. I wanted to be alone. And so by completely isolating myself, I destroyed myself. And I don't want anyone here to make that mistake. So the lessons like I learned and I'm learning, I'm not very good at them yet, is if you're struggling, reach out. It's important. It feels so vulnerable. Trust me, like I have to do this weekly. I have to weekly reach out to somebody and tell them, hey, my brain's freaking out right now, and it could be over anything. But my brain is just, it's not processing. I'm in a loop again. I'm scared. Even though I don't have danger around me, I'm scared all the time. And I have to sit there and listen while they're like, okay, you're good. But it helps. I wouldn't be standing up here right now if reaching out and talking to someone doesn't make a difference. Laugh, make an idiot of yourself in front of a bunch of kids. It's okay. It's not childish. That's childlike, and it's important. We need to be young. We need to be free. Try new things. Put yourself in a really uncomfortable position so that you can grow. Try to get out of your comfort zone. Go with your gut feeling. If you don't feel safe, that's okay. You can leave. You can go get help. It's not stupid. If you can't be alone right now, text somebody. Sometimes they're not physically there, but that's okay. We have phones. We have God around us all the time. Don't isolate yourself from God. People keep, like, whenever someone goes through trauma, like, one of the first responses that they are like, oh, like, how's your relationship with God? And for a while, I was like, oh, mine didn't really change. I knew he was there. I was here. That's cool. But I didn't admit that it was hard to him. And so I couldn't let him carry that load with me. I kind of just told him, yeah, I have a load. And then whenever I finally broke down and I drew a picture of this broken, torn up human heart, not saying like a little Valentine's heart. I drew the real human heart. And I drew stitches. I drew bleeding. I drew broken. I drew whatever I felt like my heart was. And then what I did, I took into adoration with me. Not thinking that it would be very hard, because I was like, yeah, God knows I have a burden and I have a burden. I know I have a burden. And then I wrote down every single thing that was on my heart. And that was probably one of the first times I admitted to God I was broken. And it changed everything. The hardest thing about writing on that was writing good things too that were on my heart. It was hard to find hope. And I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I smile every day, I say hi every day. But I didn't believe I was going to be healed. But by writing those thoughts down, by being like, hey, okay, this is on my mind, this is on my heart, whatever. I wrote everything from panic attacks to reading a book on that piece of paper. It was a very big piece of paper. Very fine print. And that connected me with him. And that gave me hope by realizing, oh, like, there are good things on that piece of paper. So I encourage you, don't isolate yourself from God. Ever. If you feel alone, can't reach out to anyone, tell him whatever darn thing pops into your head. Okay? It's not childish. I have literally sat and written to him, hey, oh my gosh, God, I have this crush on this boy. He's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's so great. He takes it and he works with it. It's okay. Or I can be like, God, like, this moment is really hard for me. And I'm scared right now because I passed some random person in the hallway and they made me feel really unsafe. Even though they weren't doing anything, and I'm so frustrated with myself. It's not childish to admit that. And if you're writing to God, no one else has to see it, so it's even better. Even introverts need friends. It's okay if you don't have 50,000. Yes, Gabe, it's true. So make friends. And know that, yes, there is an audience that you can't always tell your darkest moments to. Like, that's okay. Like, I'm not going to go and tell the 6-year-olds that there are bad guys that are totally fine with raping kids. I'm not going to say that. But there is an audience you can talk to. So don't feel like you have to protect someone, even if they're your own age or older. And let's see if I can get my thoughts together. Asking for help, reaching out to people, making friends, all this. I know I've said it like how many times honestly, if you take nothing else out of this talk, besides the girl who's obviously very nervous stood up in front of you, I want you to take that you can ask for help, that you can act like a little kid, and that it's not actually childish, it's being childlike. Children need help all the time. We work at a child's camp, we know this. And that's